Good evening and welcome to the Village Council meeting of Monday, January 23rd, 2023.
Commissioner Reed?
Present.
Commissioner Reed?
Present.
Commissioner Milovich Walters?
Present.
Commissioner Polk?
Good.
Mayor Mahoney?
Thank you. Let's all stand for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have a recognition, nomination, appointment, solicitation.
You want to do the minute?
Oh, I could. If that's the order you want to go.
No, it says number 4.
Yeah. I get excited about emergency management.
Thank
Can you blame me?
No.
I don't know. So, the next item on the agenda apparently is the approval of minutes. Any questions, comments, suggested changes? Otherwise, I would seek a motion to approve minutes.
So moved.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Commissioner Polk?
Yes.
Commissioner Reed?
Yes.
Sorry, that's Commissioner Reed.
Yes.
Commissioner Reed?
Yes.
Commissioner Milovich Walters?
Yes.
Mayor Mahoney?
Yes, the motion carries. Next item, we have a presentation. Commissioner Milovich Walters, would you like to?
Yes, thank you, Mayor Mahoney. Well, I'm just gonna go stand over here because they're gonna have to come up, right, and do their thing?
Yes.
All right. So, Frank Flores, please come this way. Officer Frank Flores is here to give us a short overview of our Palos Park Community Emergency Response Team, known as CERT. As an operational unit of the Palos Park Public Safety Component, Palos Park CERT is recognized as a part of approximately 2,500 CERT programs nationwide. The Community Emergency Response Team program offers a consistent nationwide approach to volunteer training and organization that professional responders can rely on during a disaster situation. The CERT program aligns with a consistent nationwide approach to volunteer training and organization that professional responders can rely upon during disaster situations. The Palos Park CERT program trains citizens regardless of background experience or previous training to provide initial assistance to their families, neighbors, and community during medical emergencies and disasters until professional emergency personnel arrive. Additionally, the CERT members provide various forms of assistance to the community during post-disaster recovery efforts. Palos Park CERT program will also be active in the community for providing first aid, public training, firefight support, and other services throughout the year. I personally got to attend the graduation and hand out certificates of achievement to all our first ever CERT team back in December, and it was a great honor, and everyone was so excited about all the things they learned and the way they learned them. All the hands-on things, learning how to put out fires and different things. And my husband was one of those people, and so I got to hear all about it, and it was great. We are doing another program this spring, and so please sign up, and you will tell them where to reach you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
And
I will.
I believe you also have a guest here with you
Yes,
this evening.
yes,
Phil Mason is the planning manager for the Cook County Emergency Management Agency, correct?
That's right,
Yes,
Emergency
and-
Management Regional Security.
And he brings
Ooh.
treats and special things for all the CERT members too, so we got some little
I
extras.
did not know that he actually was a chef in his previous life. Yes, watch out, now you're in trouble, because they're.
Now we'll have some expectations.
Yeah, just make that public record.
And I'm going to turn it over to you for
Thank
the
you so much.
presentation, but thank you
But
very, very
again,
much.
Thank you.
Phil has been instrumental in his partnership. I mean, here we are in Palos Park, and to have Phil provide us with so many resources, and from the the quiet side of here's some bags that you can give new team members, to several $1,000s worth of response and training equipment that he and his partner just delivered last week to the village.
So exciting.
As a memorandum of understanding that all of you had voted on and agreed to. And we have all that equipment now to enhance the program, so we're looking forward to expanding it. And yeah, Phil Phil's a major part of that.
So thank you, Phil,
Exactly.
really do
That's just
appreciate it.
what-
All we need is a nice community crisis right now.
That's-
Why does it have to be?
Says it in your name.
It's my fault. So basically, what I have, and I guess, you know, you must have had her cover part of what I did, so that I would keep it to under a certain amount of time. But all I have is a basic overview of it, and one of the things that the commissioner brought up is it's a training program first, right? It gives people skills that most of us, unless you're in the world of public safety, right, we're not all that competent at doing. And it's consistent, it's nationwide. When we do our program here in Alsip, it's not, I'm sorry, in Palos Park, I was thinking of Alsip, New Lenox, Milton Township, Chicago, all these other communities that have CERT programs here in Illinois. If you are in San Diego, if you are in San Francisco, if you are in Miami, if you are in Spokane, New York City, you are taking the identical same training. It's part of our national response framework, which gives everyone this ability to have the identical same training. But really, it's about that team. It's about getting individuals to take care of themselves, their families, and their workplaces first. We want to make sure that they're capable, because every individual who's able to take care of themselves during an emergency or disaster is one less individual that professional responders have to immediately worry about. They can focus on the bigger picture and those that are in much more dire need than these individuals. And then once they've got that taken care of, they come and provide that additional assistance by being trained volunteers to the jurisdiction. Again, and they don't deploy by themselves. These folks are volunteers, but they do work with us. They work with professional responders. We train the professional responders in what to expect from the CERT teams, so that when they come in, they know exactly what they're capable of. And part of it is, as the commissioner said, public safety. It's giving out information at village events. It's being there to assist and give information to folks maybe who either weren't interested or didn't even know that such training was available to them, right? So again, it's assisting everybody. These volunteers are trained in a variety of topics, and I'll cover them in just a moment. But it doesn't stop there. Right? We don't do catch and release in Palos Park. Right? When you come in to take this training, we ask you to become part of the team. We don't mandate it, but being part of the team also means every month you'll get an additional amount of training, at least 2 hours a month in different topics from what that initial training program gives you. And then you're available to come out and assist during different events that we have in the village, and hopefully, Commissioner, not a disaster that we're waiting to happen, you know, knock on, is
Something.
There you
I'll
go.
go with that. Okay? So again, CERT is about individual preparedness. We eventually train everybody to be part of a team and work together. And, you know, your husband having been here, you saw some of the training. It gives you that opportunity that you don't have watching a YouTube video or simply attending a sit-down, stand-still presentation such as this, because it is hands-on. Almost every time you come in, it's going to be hands-on, because we want you to have those gross motor skills available so that you can better prepare. All right, so everybody, anybody watching this, anyone who's interested gets a hold of us. There is no limit as far as what you can learn and who we have come into the program. So again, they come from all neighborhoods. We even had someone from Palos Heights sign up for the last program. We won't deny anybody who wants to come in and take part in the program. They join because they want to be better prepared. That's one of the things we always put out. That's what you're going to walk away with. You're going to do things that the average person doesn't. You become active in learning about the different hazards. One of the things that we're finishing up now is updating the Palos Park Hazard Mitigation Annex, where we look at all the hazards that can land on our village and the surrounding area as part of Cook County Emergency Management and Regional Security's backing to get this plan out there for everybody. So who's the ideal CERT volunteer? By chance, can anybody figure out who the ideal CERT volunteer is?
Anyone.
Anyone who
Exactly, it's you. It's you. It is anyone. It is anyone. You don't have to be degreed. You don't, you can be a student in high school. We'll take you, right? A retired senior citizen. A lot of valuable experience and information in those folks. Anybody can be part of the program regardless. All you have to do is apply. All you have to do is apply. You'll notice scouts, young adults, moms, dads, senior citizens, all ages, all backgrounds. It was interesting to have a high school student who's also a CSO here with the police department and the team, also have an attorney, retired business owners. It was an interesting mix of individuals, and that really brings a lot more to the team. The important part. So it's 9 sessions. Every session is 2 hours except for the final exam and exercise. We did a tabletop in this room. But it's disaster preparation. We start with what are disasters? Everybody watches TV. Everybody's aware of the Katrinas, earthquakes, and things like that. But what could happen to Palos Park? What could be, the type of thing that lands? So we talk about that. There's an organization to it. There's a CERT organization. There are team leaders. We break individuals into different groups. Some folks may be more interested in doing certain things than others, and we try to push them into that interest. Medical disaster operations. They're not doctors, they're not paramedics, they're not EMTs, but they can provide first aid. They are able to categorize individuals into different, who are injured, into the levels of triage that are needed. And they can do this even before the fire department gets there. Right? Disaster psychology. Disasters unfortunately come with wounds that you don't see. Right? So we even teach them how to give self-care when they see things that nobody should, and also how to provide that level of care to individuals that they may be comforting. Fire safety and utility controls. We went to reliable safety at ALSIP, and one of the pictures you see, it's very different to talk about how to use a fire extinguisher versus actually having a burn pit and getting to use it to put out an oil fire. Light search and rescue. If there's a disaster, think of the number of responders it would take to go door to door to make sure nobody is trapped inside their home. They learn what they can go into, what not to go into, and how to properly search a home to find any survivors and how to assist them after that. And there's even a small unit on terrorism. So think about that in terms of the average individual. Where would you get this, right? In a CERT training program. So again, we invite everybody in the community, who's interested. It's free. There's a nice word for you. All right? Basically, all you're committing, and it is very valuable, is your time. But think of what you're getting back when you donate that time to go through that training in terms of providing for your family, yourself, your community. I mean, how much more can I sell it? And again, it's all hands-on. We're already planning for this year 2 more programs, the basic programs, and for those that are already team members, programs on CPR, AED, first aid, stop the bleed, traffic management, yes, animal control, because in disasters, people's pets sometimes are left behind or they get out, right? So that'll be part of additional training that they're gonna go through. And of course, it's all about partnerships. It's all about partnerships, working with folks like Phil Mason. Our fire protection district was instrumental in giving us some materials early on when we were doing some of the first aid training, and we hope to continue all of those partnerships. Right. If there's any questions, again, my email, right? Once the chief gives me the green light, we're going to have all the updated recruitment material, the brochures and things like that, so that we can put it online. We'll have it on our front desk, but we're looking at the end of April to start class 2.
So exciting.
Thanks, Frank.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So, Frank, I just want to bring up another couple of points because I heard them often expressed as people are trying to decide if it's something I want to participate in that. So the first is, you may be trained in all these things. You don't need to do anything you're not comfortable doing.
That is correct.
And I think part of the concern was, well, if there is, God forbid, a disaster, do I want to be traipsing through the forest preserve at 1 o'clock in the morning while things are on fire around me? The answer is no. There's always something that somebody slightly less skilled can do that really helps move the whole process forward. Whether it's answering a phone, whether it's handing out water, whether it's just being in the building so that there's someone here that can say, oh, that person is over there, or this is how you're gonna get to what you need. So there's plenty of opportunities that don't involve putting yourself in any degree of personal risk, and you would still be able to benefit from all the training. You
Yeah.
never have to do anything you're not comfortable with.
Administrative versus operational, they can assist us with shelters. If we decided to open up a shelter for our residents, they can assist us, passing out water, signing people in. In disasters, people like donating. Americans are very giving, right? And they start giving donations. Well, what do you do with them? Police is busy, fire is busy, public works is busy, village admin, what do we do with all this? These volunteers can help sort things, store things properly. You start getting people who wanna come in. The spontaneous volunteer phenomenon that happens whenever there's a disaster, right? People just wanna help. Well, how do you organize them? The teams are trained to assist. And again, the main thing that's taught in every one of us is if you don't feel comfortable or safe doing it, don't do it. Don't do it. And that's not your function. That's not your function.
Thanks, Frank.
And I hope you don't make me trips, go through the woods in the middle of the fire.
You're third on the list.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you,
for-
Mr. Mason.
Yeah, for coming out tonight and spending an evening with us. We really appreciate it, and all your hard work with the Village of Palos Park. You know, we have an excellent tradition of volunteerism in our town. Lots of community organizations. This is just one way that you can get involved.
I will say, when I went to the graduation, it was very interesting, like you mentioned, Frank, there are people from all different walks of life, different ages, everything, and they're all doing like a grab bag and having ice cream together, and then talking about all the stuff that they learned during their 9-week program, and it really screamed like community, you know, which is in the name, so that makes sense. But it really is such a great program, and I'm so lucky that we have this here, so thank you.
We have no hearings this evening, so I'm gonna move to the consent agenda. All items on the consent agenda are routine or have been brought forward at the direction of the board of commissioners and will be enacted in one motion. If discussion is decided that item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered separately. Item A, to approve ordinance 2023-3, ordinance amending part 8, title 2, chapter 808, section 808.23 of the village of the Palos Park Village Code in regard to the authorized number of Class G liquor licenses. One Eagles Country Club Inc., 13070 McCarthy Road, Palos Park, Illinois 60464. The ordinance states that effective January 23rd, 2023, the village code is amended to decrease the Class G liquor licenses by 1 due to the cessation of golf operations, course, bar, service at Golden Eagles Country Club. Item B, to approve payment of invoices on the warrant list dated January 23rd, 2023, in the amount of $127,510.08. Motion to approve the consent agenda at this time.
So moved.
Second.
Hearing a motion in a second, will the clerk please call the roll?
Commissioner Reed?
Yes.
Commissioner Wade?
Yes.
Commissioner Milovich Walters?
Yes?
Commissioner Polk?
Yep.
Mayor Mahoney?
Yes, the motion carries. Any items of old business before we go ahead? Board of Commission recommendations, are we on any this evening? So information updates, public works and streets, recreation report, Commissioner Milovich Walters.
Thank you, Mayor Mahoney. I have one item on the agenda. It's to approve the proposal from Comfort Zone Heating and Cooling to provide yearly maintenance on all the village HVAC systems. Public Works is requesting the village council to approve an agreement with Comfort Zone Heating and Cooling to provide yearly maintenance for the village-owned buildings, including the Capture Center, the Recreation Building, the Water Pump Station, the Public Works Garage, the Metro Station, and the Rental House. Performing maintenance on a regularly scheduled basis can help identify potential breakdown before it turns into a costly service call and repair bill. Over the last 2 years, the village has used Comfort Zone with superior results. They have provided faster response times and more value on repair and replacement costs with better results. The proposal for 2023 calendar year is $7,758, and this was included in the 23-24 budget. Does anybody have any questions? If not, I'd like to make a motion to approve the proposal from Comfort Zone Heating and Cooling in the amount of $7,758 to provide regular maintenance on all village-owned buildings.
Second.
Motion with a second, will the clerk please call the roll?
Commissioner Milovich Walters?
Yes.
Commissioner Wade?
Yes.
Commissioner Reed?
Yes.
Commissioner Polk?
Yep.
Mayor Mahoney?
Yes. Motion carries.
And then I just have some announcements from the fun side of things. First is, we do have a recreation supervisor position available and a building attendant position available. We are seeking to fill a full-time recreation supervisor and part-time building attendant. Both jobs are listed on the village website, so please paylesspark.org and you can check it out if you're interested. Payless Park Doggy Dash registration is live. It's our inaugural Payless Park Doggy Dash 5K 1 mile fun run, walk, carry your dog, whatever it may be. The registration is open. Participants can pick either distance with or without a dog. You don't have to have a dog to do it. But all residents are invited to join in the post-race activities, including a pup parade, where we will award best costume, cutest, and best personality. The race is Saturday, May 20th. Registration information can be found on the village website and the Parks and Recreation social media pages. So check that one out. Next up is Chili in the Park, February 11th. It's our annual event. Doors open at 12:30, $5 for public tasting, which starts at 1:15. So you can come in at 12:30, walk around and see them getting everything ready, and then it goes down to be judged by the judges, and then at 1:15 you'll get your spoon and you get to go around and get samples of all the different ones you want to try. Home cooks are encouraged to compete. You can register through the rec department up until Monday, February 6th. So don't be shy, give it a shot. You know, you just can't put beans in the chili. That's what Cassie says. But come out and if you're not gonna cook, at least come taste it. It's a really fun event. And it's colorful too. And then lastly, just a reminder, Brunch with the Bunny is coming to us on Saturday, April 1st. And registration opens February 1st. So you will have 2 months to sign up. But the sooner you sign up, the sooner you are ensured a spot to have breakfast with the Easter Bunny. So, because spots are limited. So February 1st, registration will go live, paylesspark.org, Recreation Department. And that concludes my report.
Thank you kindly. Building and Public Property Report, Commissioner Wade.
Thank you, Mayor. Just one thing to talk about tonight. With springtime approaching, residents are being advised to be on the lookout for scam artists posing as contractors. Some of the warning signs that you need to be aware of: people soliciting door to door. Professionals do not do this. Second, claim to be working in your neighborhood and notice that you need repairs. Next, offer a free inspection, which always turns up with a major repair. Next, tell you that you need to act right away. Also tell you that they have leftover materials from another job that you could use. Want to be paid in cash. Do not provide a detailed contract. And lastly, ask for a large down payment. Those are all the warning signs you should be aware of. Make sure that anyone doing work for you is registered with the village and has pulled all necessary permits. The building department is here to help protect you from these unscrupulous individuals. Call us at 708-671-3730 to verify if a contractor is registered with the village. And then finally, the building department processed 4 permits from January 4 to January 17, resulting in $1,301.75 in permit fees. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Commissioner. Public Health and Safety, Commissioner Polk.
Thank you, Mayor Mahoney. We'll start with the police activity report from the 9th of January through the 22nd of January of the year of our Lord 2023. We had 1,870 calls for service, so right around 900 or so a week. did 22 citizen assist calls, as well as an additional 23 case reports, had 4 accident reports, had no arrests during that time, 36 traffic stops, 17 moving violations, 2 adjudication tickets, as well as 19 speeding tickets. So that's what the Village of Palos Park Police Department's been up to for the last couple of weeks. And then I have a couple of quick discussion items. The first is a difficult topic, but it's important. You may have seen one of our officers on the local news over the last week or so talking about an issue called sextortion, which is a combination of the words sexual and extortion. This seems to be a phenomenon that's on the rise, and basically is blackmail by proxy. So these are generally individuals who are being, if you will, groomed to provide some sort of sexually explicit or sexually inappropriate content. I will tell you that one thing that I learned during this discussion was that the majority of victims in this crime are males, overwhelmingly, 90%. And the way that it works is that they get an unsolicited email from a female. And they sort of start a social media relationship. And then, lo and behold, the offending person sends a picture generally of a naked girl and purports it to be herself, and then asks for one in return. And then the trouble begins. Because usually the gentleman involved then responds in kind, and when he does, then there's demands for money to keep the picture from being published or from being distributed, and that can happen in a number of different ways. So it is on the increase and generally very underreported because people are embarrassed about being caught in the situation. Particularly these are younger people, generally much younger than 18. So they would typically think about trying to go to a parent, and depending on how that works out, that may not work out very well. So a couple of things to understand. The first is that we have a group of people here in the Palos Park Police Department who are interested in helping anybody with anything. And we have a group of people that are particularly adept at social media issues, particularly social media crimes. And this is generally a crime of social media. So I encourage anyone who has any concerns about whether that may or may not be occurring to please reach out confidentially. All of that information will be held in confidence, and we'll do our best to try and ameliorate the situation. The second is a parental issue, and I know that it's difficult, but we should be aware of what our kids are doing on social media, and that can be easier said than done. And if you want some tips, you can go to the Palos Park Police Department website. We have tips on how to monitor what your team's activities might or might not be on social media. And again, if you have any questions or concerns or issues, or you just want to talk, reach out to one of us. You can reach out to Joe Miller, the chief, either on his email, jmiller, jmiller, @palospark.org, or you can certainly reach out to me, and we'll make sure that you get in contact with the people who do this, unfortunately, on a daily basis. So that's something I think we all have to be a little bit aware of. And had some great bowl games over the last couple of weeks. They're all headed one direction, and that's towards the Super Bowl. So again, I want to remind people that if you're going to a Super Bowl party, make sure you have plans for what's going to happen after you're done with the Super Bowl party. Either stay where you're at, designate a sober driver, or if you're in Palos Park and you have an issue with having had too much to drink, give us a call, 708-448-2191 or 708-259-1035, and we will take you somewhere safe. We will not take you to another party. We will not take you to a bar. We will not take you to a restaurant. We will take you home. No questions asked. So again, that's coming up in the middle of February or so, but I just wanted to get that out there so people knew they had the contact information. Chief Miller?
Well, just one note on Frank Flores' CERT presentation. I encourage all of you, there are YouTube videos on some of these things you can learn how to use very quickly. If you go to any large venue, be it Soldier Field, Allstate Arena, you will see AEDs all over. They're not for us. We have AEDs. Actually, a doctor here in Village Park provided all our squad cars with AEDs. Those AEDs are for you. They're very user friendly. Should someone drop in front of you in a Palos Park native, I see saved someone's life in New York City, earlier this month, in Baldwin. The Baldwins are from Palos Park. And Stop the Bleed is the other program. That should, if there's an active shooter, walk around some of these venues, you will see, just like an AED or a fire extinguisher, these little boxes, those are for Stop the Bleed. Active shooter, law enforcement's engaging the shooter. Stop the Bleed is so you can quickly stop, God forbid, marked injured, I can stop the bleed with these kits. They're modeled after what was called the Israeli battle dressing kits that their soldiers would carry in more urban environments. But you may not notice them, but anywhere you go in a large venue where there's a large amount of people, these devices are there and they're there for you to use. You can easily look up on YouTube how to stop the bleed, how to use an AED, the machine walks you right through.
Yeah, basically the machine's looking for you to take it out of its box and put it near the victim, and then it'll tell you exactly what
It
to
tells
do
you if there's a heartbeat.
from that point on. Thanks, Chief. And that concludes my report, Mayor.
Thank you, Commissioner. Council Finances, Commissioner Reed.
Thank you, Mayor. It's very hard to make finance and accounting sound real exciting.
I don't understand what you're talking about.
It's a little tough. I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna try to draw a picture. And in doing so, I'm gonna make shameless plugs on behalf of the finance department. So you know that up front, okay? We're here to approve a contract with Lauder, Bach, and Ahmed LLP for audit services for the fiscal years ending 2023 through 2025. State statute requires that the village's finances be audited every year. And the village's audit coincides with this fiscal year. As part of the audit process, the village prepares an annual comprehensive financial report. The village prepares this annual financial report in a thorough and transparent manner. For each of the last 23 consecutive years, the village has been awarded the Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting from the Government Finance Officers Association. This is the most prestigious award available to governments in the preparation of annual financial reports that are detailed and transparent in nature. The village will strive to achieve the award in each of the next 3 fiscal years. Covered under the contract is up for consideration this evening. The village's most recent financial audit covered the time period May 1, 2021 through April 30, 2022. As noted previously, the accounting firm of Lauterbach and Ahmed has been the village auditor since 2015. Lauterbach and Ahmed has submitted a 3-year cost proposal for audit services covering fiscal years 2023, I cannot get that right, 2023 through 2025. Fees for each of the years are set forth in the document before me, but for purposes of those who don't have the document, fiscal year 2023, $18,600. 2024, $19,000, and 2025, $19,400. Step increase of $400 every year. Now, I know someone was gonna ask, well, what about the past 3 years? What type of step increase did the village incur?
Took the words right out of my mouth, yes,
Sir,
sir.
I've been around you for a long time, and I knew you were gonna ask that question, by God. Here's the answer.
Yo.
Fiscal year 2020, 18,600. 2021, step increase of $400 to $19,000. In 2022, step increase again of $400 to $19,400. Consistency, people, is what they're talking about, and that's what we're proposing. Now, you may say, well, wait a minute, those numbers indicate that there were some lowering of fees. You gosh darn right they were. Negotiations were held, and the auditors agreed to lower its audit fees under the proposal due to significant audit efficiency gains over the last few years because of improved preparation for the audit by the village staff. The accounting firm of Barnabach and Allen is qualified to perform the financial audit with over 25 years of experience in providing accounting services, including audit services to local governments in the Chicagoland area. The village staff has been satisfied with the quality of services received from Barnabach and Allen. Before making a recommendation of a motion, I want to give another shameless plug to our financial department. For the last several years, the village has seen its fund balance grow. Fund balance, what is that? How much paper the village has on hand, to put it in street vernacular. This fund balance has been audited by the village's independent auditors. From fiscal year 2019 to fiscal year 2022, the village's most recently audited fiscal year, available fund balance reserves have grown nearly $900,000 to approximately $2.3 million. The village's stewardship of taxpayer dollars has given confidence to our decisions to embark on major road improvement projects the last 2 years and each of the upcoming next 2 years. In addition, the village has been working on expanding recreation programming, which was hindered due to COVID restrictions the last few years. As discussed by Commissioner Miller Walters recently, major capital improvements are being developed for the playground and tennis courts by the village. With that, I'm going to bring it back home. What you have in front of you is consideration for a contract. The village staff recommends that we approve the contract with Barnabach and Allen to perform financial audit services to the village for fiscal years ending 2023 through 2025. As noted previously, fees for each of these 3 years will be $18,600, $19,000, and $19,400.
Second your motion.
I haven't made a change.
Oh, I thought you made the motion.
Oh, man, a premature second.
I'm a little slow, guys, just bear with me.
Emphatic, I would say.
Are there any questions prior to me making a motion for your consideration? Hearing none. I move to approve the contract between the Village of Palos Park and Barnabach and Allen LLP for financial audit services covering the fiscal years ending 2023 through 2025, and would humbly and respectfully seek a second.
No. Okay. Second.
With a motion and second, will the clerk please call the roll?
Commissioner Reed,
Yes.
Commissioner Milovich Walters,
Yes.
Commissioner Wade,
Yes.
Commissioner Polk,
I have never, in my 16-year history of sitting on this council, been tempted to change commissioner seats. But hearing the enthusiasm and wonder in your explanation just makes me think that I'm sitting in the wrong chair. I heartily say, amen, yes.
and Mayor Mahoney.
Yes. And motion carries. Unless the financial director wants to quit or tell me something I did wrong, you have anything to offer, sir?
Perfect.
Thank you, that concludes my report, Mayor. I'm done. Thank you very much. I just wanted to comment that, you know, with the explosion of professional service fee increases in the past couple of years. To have a decrease is a major accomplishment, so great work.
It's all you, Alan.
Yeah, when we say staff, say, what we mean is Alan. Unless I completely, it's not professional here.
Somebody makes the coffee for Alan.
Okay, that's, mayor's report.
That'd be you.
I am going to read the one item I have here to announcements. Clerk's report.
I have no formal report.
Manager Ray, do you have anything this evening?
No, nothing for the council's consideration this evening, but just a quick update on Comcast. The Comcast build-out in Palos Park, as most know, has been ongoing for some time. The village council did approve a franchise agreement with Comcast last May. This was done to provide a competition, basically, to the current provider of WOW, now Astound. Comcast started after that signing with the surveying of the community and engineering the build. The system build-out began last fall and has continued using 2 to 3 subcontractor teams. According to the latest information from Comcast, about 400 homes will be able to connect by April. Approximately 400 additional homes per month thereafter until the build is complete. That's for all homes in the community east of Bell Road. So they're progressing. It's been painful sometimes, most times up in the air. Nobody even notices that they're even there. So they've been continuing, they've been moving along. Any disruption to ground that's happened over the winter will be restored in the spring.
It is a very interesting process, because I've watched them with the overhead and the machinery they use to do it. It's pretty cool.
And underground too. So basically, they're late.
They're a little later than they initially thought. We thought they'd be.
You are
first
such
class
an
in
administrator.
That's what they told us initially. This is the latest as of this morning. That's what we got.
Do they have an idea about how those 400 homes will come online? Are people going to be contacted?
They will be contacted, they will send out flyers to everybody, the marketing team will get involved very quickly. I do not know what portion of the community will be the first 400 and the 400 afterwards. But as soon as we get that information, we will be updating our website with that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Manager Ray. And even though they promised February, I thought it would be much later. So,
Let's not encourage them to take their time.
We don't need one until they.
These processes always,
Plus, it was over winter. I mean, we've had a reasonably nice winter, but. It's called winter for a reason.
it's called winter for a reason. I've seen everything, I've heard.
It was the financial report.
I'm good. Yes. Well done.
I'm sitting over here minding my business.
Dude, it was a shout out.
Okay, oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Announcements. The zoning board appeals meeting scheduled for Wednesday, February 8th is canceled as there are no agenda items. I did want to report that Janine Kackmeyer retirement. Recently attended her retirement luncheon at the Palos Heights Library. Janine was the public services librarian at Palos Park Library for several years. She has a tremendous love of history and the written word. And when the village decided to create a book, when the village decided to create a book to commemorate the Village of Palos Park's 2014 centennial celebration, Janine eagerly accepted the project. Our centennial book is filled with history and photographs of the village. The Palos Park community generously donated old photographs and recounting family stories to help Janine create this keepsake book. Palos Historical Society certainly was of great assistance in this process. This book, Images of Palos Park, written by Janine Kackmeyer, outlines the rich history of our community. Village. The book is available at the Village Hall for $21.99, or can be checked out at the Village Park Public Library. We wish Janine a wonderful retirement and thank her for creating this historical book that will be enjoyed for generations. I really encourage you to get it. Janine loves writing, but she doesn't like to present, but she graciously did that for the women's luncheon, that was the centennial.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful, and I said to her afterwards, you could have done it on for about 2 more hours. Because she told like 3 separate
Yeah.
stories, all 3 of which were fascinating, I had never heard before.
Yeah, because she told stories that didn't make
Or
it to
in
the
the
book.
book.
There are so many in here already, and there's still more.
So she's retired. It's sad. We wished her the best. She made such a great contribution to our town, and we thank her for the legacy she left. So
I didn't buy one.
and that concludes my announcements and report. So citizens and visitors comment period. Anyone from the audience like to address the council? I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Commissioner Polk? Commissioner Wade?
Yes.
Commissioner Reed?
Yes.
Commissioner Milovich Walters?
Yes.
Mayor Long?
Yes, the motion carries. Thank you all and good evening.
Take care, be safe.